Good evening at 6 o'clock on Saturday, April 1st, 2017. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, where we bring you today's top stories translated into English every weeknight. On April 1st, 2013, Edi Rama and Ilir Meta constructed a coalition allowing left-wing parties to emerge victorious in the 2013 parliamentary elections and creating a new government. Today, on the 4th anniversary of the coalition with the parliamentary elections in only a few months, Mr. Meta was in Shkodra, the city in which he first signed the coalition agreement with Edi Rama 4 years ago. An Aura News journalist asked Mr. Meta about continuing the coalition. His response focused on the political crisis rather than the coalition, voicing his concern that the country could head in the wrong direction with this crisis. The Socialist Movement for Integration chairman said that proactive dialogue is needed to return normalcy to the process before the elections. We are at a very important moment, one of overcoming the political stalemate that could take the country in the wrong direction. This is my main concern. We should have proactive political dialogue to normalize the whole process before the elections, and Albanian citizens can vote peacefully. And so after the elections, the country can have strengthened institutions and progress with the reforms, declared Mr. Meta, who added that the citizens' interests are of primary importance. On the 43rd day of the opposition's protest, the Democratic Party chairman Lulzam Basha declared that the coalition of April 1st, 2013 was an April Fool's joke on the Albanian people. The DP chairman stated that only a provisional government can guarantee free and fair elections, saying, "More and more people are joining this battle because the Albanian people, without political conviction, Democrat and Socialist, will not see good days without liberating Albania from crime and drugs. The decision has already been made. The battle is going towards the guaranteed victory," said the DP chairman, who also commented on the ruling coalition that was formed on April 1st, 2013. April 1st is Fool's Day. On this day, people invent lies and jokes to trick other people. The biggest lies for free health care, for opening 300,000 jobs, were prepared on April 1st, 2013. The co-authors of this pact have laughed for sure, not only because of Fool's Day, but because they used the day to treat Albanians as fools, to lie to them in order to get their votes. There is not and there will not be any new condition. We are asking for the establishment of a provisional government with full political support to implement the decriminalization law and fight against crime and drugs and ensure free and fair elections, declared Mr. Basha. The DP chairman spoke also of the oil prices, which, according to him, have increased because of increased taxes. Even though the electoral campaign for the June 18th elections has not yet started, the Socialist Party inaugurated its electoral office in Greece. Directors of the electoral campaign for the southern cities of Vlora and Gjirokastra were in Athens, where they held a meeting with party supporters. They spoke of the reforms the government has undertaken these last 4 years, which have had a positive impact for migrants also. The Minister of Energy declared, "Albania is walking toward European integration, but there are some forces trying to stop this development. You can see those at the tent have a clear political message. Their message is to obstruct Albania's European path. They want to do what has never been done before. The loser tells the other to resign because he wants to enter the race alone." The Minister of Culture declared, "When our government develops investment programs or cultural and educational programs, it does not think only of the Albanians who live in Albania, but also of Albanians living abroad who want to return to their country." Meanwhile, Mr. Bledi Chuchi, coordinator for the electoral campaign in Gjirokastra, vowed more communication with migrants, saying, "Beginning in 2013, we have built a bridge of communication, and we will continue to try and meet often and try to see eye to eye in every step we take." The Minister of Energy, the Minister of Culture, the former Minister of Local Issues, and the Vice Minister of Interior, accompanied by MPs and local leaders, asked for the migrant votes on June 18th. The EU ambassador Romana Vlahutin was in Vlora today, where she inspected the Lungomare project, an €8.2 million investment funded by the EU and the Fund for the Development of the Regions. The EU ambassador said that the project should be done according to the deadlines, emphasizing that it's time for the project to be concluded and that deadlines should be respected. We had a difficult meeting with the companies that are doing the work in this area. I was also in Vlora at the end of January, and I was assured that the work would continue until April 30th. So this is the date when the work will finish. But Vlora citizens can see there is still work to be done. We have agreed for the company to give us a daily reporting that we may see how the work is going every day. The EU has invested a lot of money so that citizens can enjoy this part of Albania. We want this project to be meaningful for the citizens who have been very patient. I think this is the time this project will finish. This is the reason why I have visited Vlora twice in a few months, declared the EU ambassador, avoiding any comment on politics and the EU role in the current political situation. She only added that life goes on even if we do not deal with politics. The prosecution continues to find electronic spying one of the most efficient means to discover evidence in the fight against organized crime and to prevent risks that may threaten national security. The prosecution's annual report states that 509 people were arrested in 2016 of the 4,000 people under electronic surveillance. The prosecution lawfully permitted the surveillance of 4,000 people as suspects of committing criminal offenses such as illegal trafficking, terrorist acts, or corruption, which resulted in the arrest of 509 suspects of terrorism, narcotics trafficking, corruption, and firearms trafficking, in some cases uncovering the corruption of people in public duty capacities. According to the reports, the near 4,000 decisions to allow electronic surveillance in 2016 included suspects of serious criminal offenses and resulted in 676 criminal proceedings. Mr. Agron Duka, chairman of the Agrarian Party, held a meeting today with his party structures in Tirana's administrative units 1 and 2. Though Mr. Duka said that there will be no elections on June 18th unless there is a provisional government, and he told the majority to follow democratic rules for the elections, Mr. Duka is continuing with his electoral meetings. He told his party supporters that Parliament has been missing a group which deals exclusively with environmental and agricultural issues for the past 27 years. The solution to agricultural and environmental issues is of primary importance. For this reason, citizens should vote for our candidates and set up a group which will be dedicated to environmental issues. A group which has been missing in Parliament for 27 years, declared Mr. Duka, adding that the Agrarian Party has always supported civil society for the protection of the environment and emphasized that this support will continue in the future. That's all for our English edition this evening. Please join us again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. My name is Mari, and on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.